Prince Harry explains why his sister was always a secret. The world of celebrities is expansive, and the British royal family can proudly lay claim to the top spot on various rankings. But how much do we really know about them? Yeah, there's a wealth of information out there, but only what they want us to see. Anything else remains carefully guarded secrets beneath their regal veils. For instance, did you know that Princes William and Harry have a hidden stepsister no one knew existed until now? It's true. Despite being kept from public view for many years, she's recently emerged from a royal cocoon into the spotlight. When Prince Charles and Lady Diana united as one in 1981, their extravagant wedding evoked nothing but emotion from the public, who thought of it more like a fairy tale. Yet what lurked beneath this seemingly perfect union was an issue that would soon unravel its true destiny. Charles may have appeared to be a doting husband and true-life Prince Charming, but beneath the surface he had another love that captured his heart. While Charles was obligated to shift away from his hidden romance due to royal duties and family expectations, it didn't all unfold as expected in the end. As we now know, this fairy tale started with joyous optimism yet ended with anything but happily ever after. In 1971, Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles' connection was instantaneous. They quickly developed a strong bond that only got stronger with time. Unfortunately, they had to part ways after a few years together, but never lost the chemistry or feelings for each other. Despite marrying different people in the future, it wasn't long before their deep-seated link brought about more turmoil for Prince Charles, eventually leading them back on the same life path. In 1995, when the BBC interviewed Lady Diana shortly after her divorce from Prince Charles, she famously remarked, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." Instead of shrinking away and grieving over the sad news like most would do in her position, Lady Diana made an even bolder move into public attention by shedding light on issues that were close to her heart. By refusing to be defeated by a failed relationship, she managed to remain strong and carry out meaningful work with admirable courage. When she tied the knot with Charles, Diana embraced her role as a princess with confidence and grace. She was committed to being the people's princess, faithfully carrying out her duties as Principal of Wales, breathing fresh energy and enthusiasm into the royal family. Unfailingly dedicated to charity work, Diana fearlessly championed causes that were close to her heart. Through this commitment, she earned herself an iconic status in pop culture. However, it's for her next task that she'll forever be remembered by people everywhere. The late beloved Princess of Wales made history by leaving us too soon. Being a mother to William and Harry meant everything to Diana, who didn't embody the typical royal. She was determined to provide a different kind of parenting experience for her sons. No nannies or extended relatives raising them. She wanted it all on herself. To make sure this happened, Diana shifted her schedule so that it revolved around her boys' activities, always finding time in her day-to-day obligations and business trips to include William and Harry as much as possible. You could often see Princess Di at school drop-offs with 2 young princes by her side. An unforgettable sight. While Diana continued to be an amazing mother, her marriage with Charles was deteriorating. By the mid-1990s, things had reached a critical point and they had decided to officially get divorced. Little did they know that tragedy would soon strike their family. Something no one anticipated or could have comprehended. Not even Charles and his sons. The entire nation and world were about to witness the unthinkable unfold in front of them, leaving everyone in shock as this royal family experienced immense pain beyond belief. The news of Diana's death left the world in shock, prompting an outpouring of grief from all corners. Citizens journeyed to London to pay their respects, leading to a display of love and sorrow that stunned onlookers. At Buckingham Palace alone, thousands upon thousands of flowers were placed atop one another, forming a 5-foot carpet at the entrance gate for weeks on end as citizens began processing what had transpired. As the funeral for Princess Diana was a sorrowful and difficult time, not only for her family but also the public. After it passed, members of the royal family tried to resume their regular lives without Diana's presence. Prince Charles particularly made an astonishing move that would have people around the world looking towards him as a source of guidance and support. Though his 2 sons did all they could to cope with this tragedy, it was ultimately up to their father, Prince Charles, to make monumental decisions about how life should be moving forward. In 2005, the world was rocked when it learned that Prince Charles and Camilla had reunited and were wed. The British public painted a negative image of how he treated Diana throughout their relationship while Camilla waited in the wings. Pictured here is from their wedding day, an occasion when Camilla officially became known as Duchess of Cornwall. Unsurprisingly, uproar ensued about this union between two people who, for so long, remained distant yet connected by fate. The British public were outraged that Camilla was apparently attempting to take Diana's place, and this posed an immense challenge for the family. With Charles being so content in his marriage to Camilla, William and Harry found themselves reluctantly accepting her presence. However, unexpectedly, she also proved supportive during their difficult transition, far more than they ever anticipated. In 2005, Harry made it known to the public that he and William appreciated and cherished Camilla in a family statement. This comment turned out to be the turning point for British citizens accepting her. This marked a better period for Britain's monarchy. Nevertheless, there was something else of great importance that Camilla had brought into the royal family, which remained an unacknowledged secret until recently. Although general public attention was primarily on Camilla's induction into the royal family, few realized that she had 2 children from her prior marriage. One child who embraced the spotlight, and another whose sole mission was to remain as inconspicuous as possible. It's true. Initially, we only saw what Camilla wanted us to see. Yet, there's so much more to her than meets the eye. While Tom Parker Bowles, Camilla's son and renowned food critic and writer, has been a fixture in the public eye for quite some time now, appearing on British television regularly and publishing multiple books, his sister is far more discreet. In fact, many are unaware that Camilla even has another child. This veil of privacy was intentional. There exists an interesting reason behind it. Camilla's daughter, Laura Lopez, has stayed away from the public view when it comes to British royal treatment. She did join her family at bigger occasions, such as weddings, but made sure to stay in the background so she wouldn't draw any attention. It's clear why she wanted to remain hidden among the significant family and be kept out of sight. When Diana and Charles wed, both Laura and Tom were only children. Sadly, the British press recognized Camilla as Prince Charles's first love interest, meaning they continuously stalked her, which affected Tom and Laura terribly since they had to deal with paparazzi everywhere they went. As a result of this experience in their youth, it drastically molded how each of them felt towards the media when they grew up. While Tom managed his feelings better than Laura did, who preferred to remain out of sight. As Camilla's family, years before she would eventually marry the prince, they experienced harassment from paparazzi, determined to get their hands on a valuable photo. As if this wasn't bad enough, these journalists were so relentless that they'd even chase her car while she was in traffic. An unnerving reminder of what happened to Diana. This kind of stress took its toll on everyone involved and slowly became harder and harder for them to endure. Tom was open and vocal to the media regarding his feelings towards paparazzi, telling the Mail that they're bullies. All I want to do is smack them in the face and beat the hell out of them. But you can't do that. On the other hand, Laura took a contrarian stance. She kept her distance from press interviews and handled it all differently than Tom had. Unlike her brother, Laura's youth led her to shun the limelight as much as possible, for she viewed it like a bullseye. To make this seclusion achievable meant making sacrifices, including putting distance between herself and those closest to her, since they were in the public eye and there was no escaping that altogether. After her wedding to Charles, Camilla revealed that she couldn't have achieved the greatness she has today without her family. She thanked them for their support and love when the paparazzi was overwhelming. They helped keep each other sane through it all. While being apart can be difficult at times, with this family, blood truly is thicker than water, even across miles. For many years, there have been persistent rumors and speculations surrounding the relationship between Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle. Despite their respective marriages to Prince William and Prince Harry, as well as welcoming a child into the family with Harry, these reports of quarrels continue to circulate endlessly online. It's clear that this royal family dynamic is more complex than what meets the eye, leaving us all wondering about its true nature. Reporters worked hard to discover the source of the tension between these two sisters-in-law. only for it to be revealed that William and Harry had an unresolved disagreement, which their wives were both invested in. This type of dynamic is common in non-royal relationships as well. When couples fight, so do those around them. From the moment they were born, William and Harry have been inseparable, especially after their mother's passing. They supported each other through thick and thin. It was them against the world. However, as grown men with families of their own, undisclosed issues arose that caused a rift between these two brothers for the first time in public knowledge. It was quite shocking to see that even siblings so close could disagree on certain matters. The discord between the brothers remained unknown to outsiders until Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan made a bold break from royal tradition. This couple strived for something that hadn't been attained by other royals in the past: the ability to chart their own course. Their determination paid off, and they were granted permission to create their own path, an option denied prior generations, including William and Kate's. After their nuptials, Harry and Meghan chose to take up residence in Kensington Palace for an entire year. This gave the royal family a chance to instruct Meghan on what it means to be a duchess, while also aiding her transition into that lifestyle. To everyone's surprise, however, something during this period caused a rift between Prince Harry and his brother, suggesting there was more than just normalcy at play here. Just a stone's throw from Meghan and Harry's residence was the abode of Princess Eugenie, as well as the Duke and Duchess of Kent. William and Kate were also just across their expansive grounds in their 21-room flat. The royals typically stay close to each other, due to Queen Elizabeth II ordering them so. However, for Harry and Meghan, this rule is about to be broken. With the impending arrival of Meghan and Harry's first child, the couple made the decision to depart from Northcote, setting off for Frogmore Cottage at Windsor. As one can observe in the photo here, their new home was distinct than apartments they had before. A perfect spot where they could be away from everyone else and enjoy private time during pregnancy as well as married life. An overhaul of Harry and Meghan's home, Northcote, was imminent. It had been merely a two-bedroom bachelor pad before their marriage. Nevertheless, the media speculated that something different was behind this move. More seclusion from royal habits in the limelight, as well as refuge from Britain's renowned intrusive press. This is familiar knowledge due to Princess Diana's tragic experience with them. Nevertheless, after their move and the arrival of their son, Archie, it became clear that a chilliness had developed between them. The media speculated over what could be causing this chilly attitude within the royal family. William and Harry seemed to become more distant with each other, leaving everyone feeling unsettled. What might have caused such an immense rift? At last, the impetus behind their relocation was revealed. It all began with a meeting between William and Meghan. Upon seeing her for the first time at Kensington Palace, William decided to share his opinions on Harry's romantic partner-to-be. This marked a shift in dynamic between them that only grew more fragmented over time. When William noticed how deeply in love Harry and Meghan were, he was certain that marriage was on the horizon. Being a protective elder brother, he sat Harry down for an honest talk about his concerns about rushing into this enormous step without considering all of its implications, something which had taken him many years to truly understand himself. His support came from a place of caring and compassion, just another layer of loving guidance from one sibling to another. An informant reported that William cautiously confided in Harry his concerns and opinions about their new acquaintance's history, leaving him with a mild warning. However, the Duke of Sussex swiftly dismissed these counsels from his older brother, something we can all relate to when it comes to family members stepping into private matters uninvitedly. Yet, unsurprisingly, this type of interaction is expected amongst royal families. Despite being unpleasant at times, a member of the royal court further commented on Prince William's discussions with his brother. He sought to emphasize that joining the royal family is an immense endeavor and that relentless pressure and examination ensue. Was Meghan well suited for this? Although it might be a reasonable question, one can surely assume Harry had taken into consideration all aspects pertaining to having Meghan become a part of the royals when they tied the knot. For being in such high public visibility necessitates great effort. Needless to say, Harry disagreed with William's remarks. He viewed the chant as a low blow towards Meghan, who was accustomed to being in the limelight from her acting career and having fans and people familiar with her name. She had already dealt with public scrutiny on her family members. Therefore, he wouldn't stand for his brother doing so. It's still unclear why the palace treated Meghan so coldly, yet many assume it was due to her family's behavior. Her father Thomas and half-sister Samantha were constantly in contact with the press, creating significant complications for the royals and Meghan alike. Furthermore, public opinion of them was far from favorable. Consequently, their activities made life difficult for everyone involved, not least of all Meghan herself. Unfortunately, some people attributed the palace's coldness toward Meghan to her African American heritage. This mindset is extremely prejudiced and wrong. Moreover, they were unsure whether she was putting on an act or showing herself as she truly is. So, in essence, they weren't sure if they were getting the real Meghan. Regrettably, this kind of thinking reveals their deeply ingrained biases about race and social standing. Despite all the criticism, Harry and Meghan stood tall and kept a strong face for the public. Their love for one another was so evident, it eradicated any doubts that William or other members of the royal family may have had about Meghan's transition to life as a royal. She took on her new role with grace, poise, and class, clearly thriving in this newfound atmosphere of love. It's an amazing feeling being loved by many, but even then, not everything can be perfect. An informant who spoke about the couple revealed that it seemed to be Harry, of all people, that stoked some of the drama. He won't tolerate any disapproval toward Meghan. One source commented, "He's so sensitive. He routinely perceives criticism and negativity even when there isn't any." It's not uncommon for couples to experience tension between themselves and their families. However, being in a position like Harry's, where your every move is scrutinized by practically everyone across the globe, can make matters complicated quickly. After the passing of his beloved mother, Harry felt powerless to protect her. To prevent a similar tragedy from occurring again with his wife, he vowed to go above and beyond for her protection. This was also due to the fact that she was constantly under public scrutiny, which added an unnecessary burden on their family life. One that tragically had serious repercussions in regards to Diana's death. Thusly, Harry is determined to not let this happen again. The Fab Four, William, Harry, Kate, and Meghan, were assumed to be part of an unbreakable bond. However, when Queen Elizabeth appointed Harry Youth Ambassador for the Commonwealth, it created a rift between them as William felt overlooked from his brother's benefit. Fortunately, their strong relationship was not based on titles or appointments, and so this additional tension didn't go beyond what had been portrayed. When the press reported that these royals were fighting, it was met with skepticism by much of the public, who assumed it to be nothing more than a good news story. However, when the Fab Four themselves were asked about arguments and disagreements amongst them, William emphatically replied, "Oh yes." His honesty not only revealed the truth behind their family dynamics, but also showcased his own character. After all, siblings are bound to have disagreements. Familial drama goes without saying. After William's response elicited nervous laughter from the couples, Harry was posed with a question regarding how they attempted to resolve issues among them. His answer of, "We don't know," revealed an underlying tension between the brothers and their wives that even public attention couldn't ignore any longer. This subtle hint exposed signs of strain in their once strong bond as siblings for all to see. Meghan had hoped that Kate would offer her a guiding hand as they navigated royal life, given the latter's years of experience. Unfortunately, their dynamic became increasingly strained amid deepening fissures between the brothers, and so, Meghan was left without much needed support from within the royal fold. When Meghan was joining the British royal family, Kate Middleton already had her hands full caring for 2 children and fulfilling royal duties while pregnant with a third. Understandably, unable to provide support to Meghan during this time, it's unfortunately appeared as though she wasn't extending a warm welcome, leading to increased tension between both couples.